We're camping this weekend at Chassahowitzka River Campground, and that's near Homosassa Springs in Florida. And we're fixing a lunch because we're getting ready to go out and go to Homosassa Springs. And this afternoon, when we get back, Paul and I are going to go out in the kayak and go up the Chassahowitzka River, that's a hard word to say, to a place called Seven Sister Springs, and it's on private property, so you can't get there by road. Maybe, if we have time, a place called the Crack.
One of the nice things about this park is checkout's not until 1 o'clock, so if we want to do some things tomorrow morning, we can do some things in the morning.
Well, the best laid plans of mice and men don't always work out the way you think it will. So what we're going to do today is still go to Homosassa Springs, but there's really no place to swim there. It's mostly a wildlife park. So we're going to go see what the wildlife park is all about. When you're new to an area and you're out exploring, you never know what kind of things you might come and see. So we found a place called Yulee Sugar Mill. It's an old sugar mill ruins, and it's not a very big place, but I'm sure it's packed with history. David Levy Yulee built Florida's first cross-state railroad, was the state's first U.S. senator. His sugar mill began operations in 1849. During the Civil War, he supplied the Confederates with sugar, syrup, and molasses. Federal raiders burned the Yulee home May 29, 1864, but the mill and the plantation escaped destruction. So they grew sugar cane in this area, I guess.
Evidently they did. I don't know whether they did or not because there's no sugar cane around that I know of.
Or maybe they brought it here to be processed.
Well, it came in evidently by the truckload or the shipload.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was steam powered. This right here is the boiler and the firebox, and then the steam came out and operated that engine right there. That's the steam engine moving back and forth, turning the flywheel.
Wish you could see the layout when it was working.
That was many years ago.
Afraid so. Before my time.
Did it say when, Sarah?
1860s.
Oh, that was during the Civil War.
18 something. Yeah, during the Civil War.
He provided sugar syrup during the Civil War.
There's some signs in it.
Like our great-granddaddy hauled ran cattle
Well,
to the troops during the Civil War.
Our granddaddy Cooper hauled salt.
Okay, juice flowed from the settling vats into the Grand, the largest of 5 kettles built into the furnace below. The Grand was also the coolest, being farthest from the battery kettle under which the furnace was fired. The chimney draft pulled the heat from the fire through the furnace to heat the other kettles. The heated juice was hand-dipped from the larger to the smaller kettle and ended as a syrup in the battery, the smallest to hottest. Here it reached the strike, or sugar stage, and then it landed into a trough and poured into a large wooden vats where sugar crystals began to form as it cooled. After hardening, it was spaded into slices, carried in small tubs to the purgery, the curing room, and packed in hogshead, wooden barrels.
So the heat was pulled from over there out through here. And this is where it first started, and that's where it ended up.
Yeah. So some very interesting history here in Homosassa, the Yulee Sugar Mill ruins. So my aunt said, before you sit down and eat lunch, turn around and look at that world's largest grapevine. So I'm gonna turn around. Look at that grapevine. I don't know how old this thing is. It's got to be at least 200 years old, but it just goes all up in the trees, spreads out in that direction, goes all up in those trees up there. You come back, it goes up top into the top of the oak tree, comes back down. There's another branch that spreads out, goes all the way up and over the branch of the oak tree and then hangs down. It's still alive. It even goes all the way over to the other oak tree and hangs on to it. Which is just amazing that the vines can climb like that. I tried to search Google to find out how old this grapevine was, but I couldn't find any information on it. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. But it is huge. This area just reminds me of a little tropical paradise. There's just so much to see and do, and have so many activities and events going on. It's just a real nice place to visit. So we're here at the Ellie Schiller Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park.
It's another one of those state parks that was originally a roadside attraction and a private park that's been converted into a state location.
So it looks like there's a lot of things you can see in this wildlife park. So I guess we'll start this way, go see alligators, hippos, and other wildlife encounters. This is the Homosassa River, and it looks pretty clear.
Your mom asked if I saw a manatee out there.
Is that the actual springs over there?
I don't know.
It looks pretty
You've
blue.
got the map.
Since it's quite a walk, we got wheelchairs for the ladies that are with us. My Aunt Dot and my mom. So we'll be pushing them around, and we're glad they could come with us. This is Lou the hippopotamus. Why do we have an African hippo in a Florida state park?
See him over there, all the way across?
Where?
Or you're too low.
Can you see him?
No, yeah, there it is right there.
You see over that rail, Mom?
Yeah, I see it. No, I see it. Oh well.
I'm trying to find a way for Mom to see it.
His eyes are red.
I know what they look like.
Hey, right there, Paul, there's a break in the fence.
Yeah.
So this hippopotamus name is Lou, and he was born at the San Diego Zoo in 1960, and he was brought here to the Homosassa Wildlife Park in 1968. He became a permanent resident here. He weighs about 6,000 pounds. He eats 5 gallons of fruit and vegetables every day. He's an herbivore.
What's over here? Deer or something back there?
No, it's coyotes.
Coyote.
Wolves.
Red wolf.
So here we have a couple of red fox and a gray fox. Oh, there he is. He's moving now. So here we have a great horned owl. He's just behind those leaves over there. We're gonna go back and look at the eagles. All of their birds here have been injured, and so they can't fly very well. So that's why there's no cage overhead, because they're not gonna fly away. There's some flamingos, and there's a herring down here. Look at the flamingos, wow. Barn owls. There's 2 up on top and 1 in the little burrow on the right, and on the left there's another one. Those are beautiful birds. These are lovebirds, levy and peepers. They're whooping cranes, their most endangered species in the world. Peepers is the one with the yellow leg band, and he can't fly because of an injury. And the one with the red and green leg band right here behind this little island, he can fly, but I doubt he'll fly anywhere because of his mate being here. Levi was once part of the effort to reintroduce the migratory population of whooping cranes to their historic range in Florida. Yeah, it was called Operation Migration. Captive raised birds were conditioned to follow a small aircraft along a migratory path from Wisconsin to Florida. And after several years of detours to visit peepers, Levi became a park resident. Although fully flighted, Levi stays here due to a strong bond with peepers. And we got a bunch of pelicans, looks like. Brown and white pelicans.
This is the bear habitat, evidently. Where is he?
Oh, over there.
I see it in there.
Yep, there's the bear over there.
That's where it says manatees.
I guess this will be the only manatee we see today. There's a manatee. It even says manatee.
Get a running start there.
Yeah, really. I'll let you go and let you fly.
Make that curve down there. Underwater Observatory, that must be on the boat.
Let's find out. A big bear.
Look at it.
Ah.
You want his picture?
We're at the underwater observatory, and I think we got to go down some stairs to look at the Homosassa Springs. This is the headwaters of the Homosassa River. Homosassa River travels 9 miles down to the Gulf of Mexico. Look how pretty and blue that water is, and clear. There's supposed to be manatee here, but we haven't seen any except statues. This is the big spring area, and the river flows out. It's that way.
I think it's leaves.
Alright, so here we go, down into the observatory. Underwater. Ooh, it gets cool down here. A little bit.
We're right over top of the spring is what it is. This section sits down inside the spring. The opening to the spring.
At least you can see this much. That's where the sun is shining mostly.
There's a catfish over here somewhere. We see it on the right hand side of the screen.
Yeah, I saw one over here. They use bananas to launch this.
To launch the
Observatory, to slide it down the rails into the water
Oh,
so it wouldn't be toxic.
cool.
$12,000 worth of 2-inch glass. Look at this in 1965. Pictures of all those fish. I saw a fish over here. There we go.
you look over, you can see the boil. See it boiling up?
Oh, mm-hmm. It's humid out there. Ooh, sure is.
What is that? Is that fish up there on the right-hand side?
Yeah, there's some fish over there on the right-hand side. Well, Homosassa Springs has been a tourist attraction since the 20s and 30s when it was really just a stop on the railroad. The railroad in this area was known as the mullet train because it would stop in this area to load fish. And so they stopped with tourists in the 20s and 30s to see Homosassa Springs and the beginning of the river. And then in the 40s it was purchased and a small park opened, and then the main park was run from the 60s through the 70s and into the early 80s. And just like a lot of Florida parks, people started bypassing this area on Highway 19 because of the new interstate, and other parks like Disney started opening up. Then as revenue went down, parks like this started to fail, and the state actually bought it. So Homosassa Springs is now Homosassa State Wildlife Park, and there's a lot of native animals here that you'll see some pictures of throughout the video. And we just hope that you enjoy your time watching these animals at Homosassa Springs as much as we did walking around looking at them. Now make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So until later, I'm Paul.
And I'm Sarah behind the camera.
And we say, bye y'all.